There are so many brutal, bloody murders in Game of Thrones, it's hard to pick a single person who's the most deadly. But one woman is behind a surprising amount of the mayhem on screen, armorer Natalia Lee. Someone's gonna die, Lee says of the upcoming Season 8, with more characters set to reach a violent end, and it's always gonna be our weapons that do it. Along with weapons master Tommy Dunne and various designers, producers and performers, Lee is responsible for many of the HBO hit show's iconic weapons, such as the fan-favorite Heartsbane sword. Lee, who grew up with a background in sports shooting and had a career as a police armorer, can be seen on screen in Game of Thrones as the ear-chopping tribeswoman Chella. She's also recently handled more modern weaponry on Amazon's forthcoming show Jack Ryan, and she's developing her own weapons-themed factual show. I spoke to her by phone from her native Australia about being responsible for the deadly tools of Game of Thrones. How do you start the design process? I'll do my hand sketching and marker rendering because I just really want to work on paper, and then ideally work with it in the workshop drawing right there next to a blade, next to a crossguard, a hilt and pommel. Do you work with concept artists? It's easier to work in technical specs first rather than if we worked from an art designer or an art concept. They might do a more comic book or fantasy design, and then you're trying to make that fit, whereas I work technically and say, okay, we're going to insert a glass marble in here and then we can get exact measurements.